Hello art beaters, Becky here with a new video and I hope you enjoy. If you want to keep up to date on all things art beads, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel right now. Enjoy! So I'm going to be showing you how to make this bracelet, and it features our 2-hole Checkmates tile beads and mini daggers and Toho 11-aught seed beads. We do have full instructions for this bracelet in our design studio. I've got a link to it in the video description. And the great thing about these instructions is the steps have step-by-step photos for how to do this as well. So I'm going to be showing you how to do this right now. You can watch the video and then take a look at our instructions in the design studio for even more instruction and those great step-by-step photos, as well as a supplies list for the beads featured in this bracelet. I've got some fun bead colors picked out. Julie's asking, could Tila's be used instead? I think you could sub Tila beads in for these Checkmates tiles. The tiles are a little bit thicker, I think, and they are a little more rounded on the edges, but I think you could create the same effect with the Tila beads. So definitely go for it and try it. You're just going to get a slightly different look. They're a little more square and more straight edges rather than rounded, and they're a little bit thinner than the Checkmates tiles as well. But that's a good question, Julie. So yeah, definitely try the Tila beads in this design as well. Yay, Marisol, happy Friday to you as well. So all you need for this project is some Checkmates tiles or Tila beads, as Julie asked. I've got a couple colors here. I'm not sure what color I want to use because I've got some really fun seed bead colors as well. You're also going to need some mini daggers. I think you could do this with bigger daggers as well. It would just make your fringe a little bigger. But I've got a fun color of mini daggers picked out here, and then a couple different colors of Toho 11-aught round seed beads. And I've got a fun kind of purpley blue color here and a teal green color here. And I've got links to all of these colors that I picked out in the video description. You want 2 11-aught seed bead colors. You can see there's a different color used on the fringe here. You could stick with one color if you just had one, but 2 adds a little interest, a little variety. Anne says she likes the purple beads. Yeah, let me know which color I should use for my demo. I've got a couple different colors here for the Checkmates tiles. Good morning, Yolanda. You're also going to need a little clasp for finishing. I've got this cute little hook and eye clasp from Tiara Cast, as well as a beading needle and thread. I've got Miyuki thread here. You could use KO thread, 1G thread, Fireline, anything like that. And then I've got a size 12 beading needle. So that's all you need to do this project. You can choose any kinds of colors that you like. We've got all kinds of different seed beads, daggers, and tiles for you to choose from, and all kinds of pretty colors. Jen said use both colors in the same pattern. Oh, I could do like an alternating pattern. That would be kind of fun. Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll do that. Who needs to decide? We can just do both. That'll be fun. All right, so I've got quite a bit of thread here, about an arm's span, if not a little more. And then I'm going to thread my needle. Yeah, there is no straight needle in the bunch in my needles. My needles always end up looking like this, at least a little bit, a little curved. So don't stress. I mean, that is the sign of a well-used needle. Yeah, we're going to use both colors, see how that turns out. So I'm just going to thread my needle here, and let's see if we can get it on the first try. I'm getting better and better at this the more I bead. Oh yeah, we got it. And then pull through. For this one, you're going to want a long tail for adding your clasp. So right off the bat, we're going to add a tile bead. And then 2 11-aught beads. Now I need to decide which 11-aught bead that I want for this color, because this is the color we're adding right now. I think that this green color will be a good one. So you're going to add one 11-aught color, 11-aught bead in that first color. No, you are definitely not the only one bending needles. I've got a pretty strong grip, I guess. And then, so then I've added a seed bead, a dagger, and a seed bead. So after you've added those, you're going to want to go through the second hole of your tile. Yay, and I'm gonna add a bead stopper to the end of my thread just to keep my tail a good length. I've got a little mini bead stopper here for my thread. So that'll keep everything in place. And then we add another tile bead, and we're gonna do an alternating color pattern here. So I'm gonna pick up one of these green ones. No, it is totally normal for your needles to bend and curve the more you use them. So I've added another 2-hole tile bead, and then what you're gonna do is come back down through that second hole on your first tile bead. Don't go through any of the seed beads or the dagger, just go through that second hole on the tile bead. It's kind of like a ladder stitch. You're kind of just cinching up that second tile bead to the first one. So I've gone through, and this one is kind of damaged, but that's okay. And then you're going to go back through that same stringing hole on the second tile bead that you've added. Okay, so we've gone back through that hole, and then we're going to add a seed bead in that same color that we did before, a dagger, and a seed bead. And then you're going to go through that second stringing hole. And so you're just adding right now, you're adding one side of the bracelet here. So you're going to repeat what you've been doing for the length of the bracelet. So I'm picking up another tile bead, and then I'm gonna go back through that second stringing hole on the last tile bead. Again, you're not going through any of the seed beads or daggers, just that tile bead. And then going back up through the same stringing hole on that last tile bead again. And then repeating. I do like this alternating pattern. That's kind of fun. Good suggestion, guys. Okay, so we're picking up a dagger after our first seed bead, and then adding another seed bead. Boop. Going through that second hole, and then picking up another tile bead, and going through that second hole on the last tile bead that we added, not going through any of the seed beads or daggers, and then going back up through the same stringing hole on the last tile bead. And we're just going to repeat that for the length of the bracelet, for however long we want the bracelet to be. And you got to keep in mind too how much length your clasp is going to add. We've got a pretty small clasp, so it's not going to add a ton of length. So just keep that in mind. My thread got caught on my ring that I'm wearing. There we go. All right, add another tile to your thread. And I'm alternating colors of tiles here, but you could use just one color. You could do like an ombre effect maybe and do like a bunch of colors in one bracelet. But I do want to point out that these tile beads come in a 50-piece strand, and that is enough to make a complete bracelet. So if you have 2 different colors or 2 strands, you're going to have plenty for this bracelet. These are kind of like Mardi Gras colors too. So this bracelet here is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24 beads long. So I'm going to probably do that many. And it goes by pretty quickly. Hardest part is picking up the beads sometimes. So I've got my seed bead, dagger, seed bead, going through that second stringing hole on the tile, picking up another tile. Sometimes I like to just pick these up because it's easier to get the needle through the hole here. And then going back through that previous tile bead. Not going through any of the seed beads, just the tile bead. Again, it's kind of like a ladder stitch where you're connecting these tiles together. All right, we're ready to add our next piece of fringe. Seed bead, dagger, seed bead, going through that second stringing hole, and it makes that cute little fringe or picot edge, as you can call it. And we're picking up another tile. We're going to go through the top of that stringing hole on the previous tile. Kind of just combining steps here now that I've got the hang of it, just to go a little bit faster. Bring your thread back up through that stringing hole on the last tile, and then add your next picot edge, which is a seed bead dagger. You could alternate seed bead colors too here if you wanted. That might look really cool if you're alternating tile colors as well. Super pretty. Okay, add another tile. Go through that top hole of the last tile and then back up through this. Yeah, a cute holiday version with some bells instead of the daggers. That would be so cute. I didn't actually go through my stringing hole here. That'd be a great idea for a holiday version. You could do red for Valentine's Day. That would be really pretty. Seed bead, dagger, seed bead. Yeah, that's the fun thing about the little picot edge here, is you could really have fun with this dagger and do like a different shape like bells, like Jen suggested. You could do a bigger dagger. We've got these are the mini daggers, but you could do a bigger dagger and that would be really pretty. Yeah, all kinds of different things you could do there. There's we have some really fun drop shape beads on our website, so that'd be another fun thing to play with in this design. Get creative. Always fun to get creative. And I might start my second row, just for time's sake, before my bracelet is the full length, just so I can show you all of the techniques for making this bracelet. But we'll add a couple more here. It goes by pretty quickly though, for a weaving project. Add another tile. Make sure that loop has got a good tension, a good tightness to it, and then come back up. Seed bead. Dagger, mini dagger is what we want next, and then a seed bead, and then go through that. Okay, so let's pretend that I've gone the length of this entire bracelet. Like I said, This bracelet is 24 tiles long, and it's a pretty good length. Let me check how long it actually is. It is 6 3/4 inches. So 24 is a good size for a smaller wrist, like a 6 or 7 inch wrist. You will go a little longer if you have a bigger wrist, which means that would be 48 tile beads. So you would want at least 2 strands if you're going to go bigger than that, or maybe add more jump rings or an extender for your clasp to adjust the length there. So that's just something to keep in mind. 1 strand of tiles is enough to make a bracelet that is 6 3/4 inches long. You're probably going to need 2 strands of tiles if you want anything bigger. So keep that in mind. All right. So let's say that we've gone the entire length that we want our bracelet to be. So now you're going to add that second row to the bracelet. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick up one of your 11-aught seed beads. Yeah. Okay. And then another tile. I think I'm going to alternate the colors in like a checkerboard pattern here. So since I've got a green tile here, I'm going to pick up a purple tile. So that's something to keep in mind if you're alternating colors like I am. So adding that. So you've got those added. And then you're going to add a seed bead, a dagger, and a seed bead. Same picot edge on this side, and you're going to go through the second stringing hole of that tile that you just added. Then you're going to add another seed bead. And then you're going to bring your needle through the stringing hole of the tile bead underneath it. So I've got this green tile bead underneath it. I'm going to bring my needle through that adjacent stringing hole on that tile bead there. You can kind of see that this is forming up. So now you need to go through the next tile bead in this bottom row. So you're going to bring your needle through the stringing hole of the previous tile bead, and you're not going to go through that seed bead in the edge. You're just going to go through the tile bead. And as you do this row, it's going to kind of cinch everything up in your bracelet. Really tighten up that bottom row. Really nice. Okay. So next, you're going to add a seed bead and then a tile bead. Since we're coming out of a purple bead, we're going to go pick up a green tile bead. Now here's where it gets a little interesting. So we've got the seed bead and the tile bead added, but we're actually, instead of doing what we did here right away, we're going to go back through this previous tile bead and then through these beads here. And you don't want to go through that seed bead on the picot edge. So you're coming back down through that tile bead and the seed bead between the rows, and then you're going to go through this tile bead. But you don't want to catch that seed bead below it. There we go. And then we're going to go back up through this second tile bead and back up here through the seed bead and the tile bead here to get back to where we want to be. And so you can see that's kind of tightening everything up. Oh, I'm so glad you guys are liking it. And then you repeat those steps to keep going on this side of the bracelet. So I'm gonna add a seed bead, a dagger bead, and a seed bead. Go down through this tile bead, add a seed bead, and then go through that tile bead. Oops, and you don't want your thread to catch on all of these beads that you've got here, so make sure to keep an eye on that. Okay, beautiful. And then you'll go through. Yeah, the stitching really does reinforce. So the looping back around that you're doing on this side is really reinforcing that shape of the bracelet. So it's really important to do that. Oh wait, I need to add my seed bead between there before I add the tile bead. Sometimes when you think you've got the hang of it, it's easy to miss something. So just make sure to pay attention. So before I add that tile, I need to add a seed bead. Seed bead, and then a tile. And again, we have step-by-step photo instructions for this piece in the design studio, as well as a shopping list. This bracelet design is called Jewel Beetle. So you can search for that on the website, artbeads.com. I've got a link to it in the video description. It's also, I put it on the homepage, artbeads.com. It's right in our design studio section. So pretty easy for you to find. And it's really fun. I'm loving these colors that I've got going here. So I just looped back around to get back in position for adding the next picot edge. I've got my, oops, as I'm trying to show you, they all fall off. I've got my seed bead. Oh gosh, no, I can't pick them up. I've got my seed bead. I'll pick up a new dagger and then another seed bead. Go back down through that tile bead. Coming along, and then I'm going to add another seed bead before going through that adjacent hole on the bottom row. And then you go up through the next tile bead over. Pull your string tight. This is so cute. I'm really liking these alternating colors. Then you're going to add a seed bead. I'm going to put on a green tile now. I only need one. And before adding your picot edge, you're going to loop back down through seed bead tile in the previous segment. Ow, I stuck my thumb. It's like the more I seed bead, I kind of stick my thumb a lot with those needles. You get kind of like immune to it. Like, oh, it kind of hurts, but you've done it so much. I've probably lost feeling in my thumbs. And I've looped back up around. Now I'm ready to add that picot edge. Oops. So I'm going to add a seed bead, a dagger, a seed bead. Go back down through the second stringing hole of the tile. Add a seed bead in between, and then go through the stringing hole of the adjacent tile. And then come up through the next tile. Again, you don't need to go through any of the beads in your picot edge, just the tile. So always keep that in mind when you're looping back around. You can see that's reinforcing the beads really nicely here. So add another seed bead. I'm ready to add a purple tile here. I think my biggest struggle is picking up the beads that I need. And then before adding that picot edge, we're gonna loop back around in the previous segment. So going through the tile, center seed bead and tile. Someone's asking a comment. It would make a really cool choker, yeah. And then back up through these beads. Oh my gosh, a choker would be so fun, especially in like dramatic, like black and red colors. Ooh, it'd be so vampy gothy. That'd be fun. Okay, now we're ready to add the picot edge. So I've got a seed bead, a dagger, and a seed bead. Go down through the second stringing hole of the tile, add a seed bead. And then go through that adjacent tile in the bottom row. Make sure your thread doesn't get hooked on anything. Mine likes to. And then come up through that next tile. And we're approaching the end of our shortened little segment here. Again, if you were making a full bracelet length size, this would take a little longer, but for demonstration purposes, I shortened mine up. Maybe we can make this like a fun, be kind of a fun necklace pendant, right? Go back. Oh, you know what? Look at what I forgot to put on there, guys. I forgot to put a seed bead here, so I'm actually going to have to undo this, and that's pretty easy to do. If you catch your mistake early enough, it's easy to kind of undo it. Only sad thing is you have to re-thread your needle. If I can fix it without taking the needle off, I will always try that, but sometimes you just gotta do it. Okay, so never forget to add your seed bead there in the middle and then your tile bead. Oh yeah, black and white tiles with red seed beads with the daggers also in red. That would be really pretty. I love that dramatic kind of color scheme. And then we'll go through these beads and then back up through the beads we just added. And now we can add our picot edge. So seed bead, boop, 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 dagger, seed bead. So cute. These are really fun colors. Have you guys watched the movie Encanto? I just watched it this past week, and the music is so good, and the colors in that movie, the colors in the artwork are so beautiful, so vibrant, so colorful. So I really enjoyed that movie. It was really good. And the music is like so catchy. It's all over TikTok right now. So really enjoying the music from Encanto. But these colors kind of remind me of that movie. So really good movie if you haven't seen it yet. All right, make sure to add your seed bead before adding that tile, and then I'm on the purple color. Yeah, I like these colors together too, Landa. So cute. And then going down through the tile, seed bead tile in the last row, then back up through the tile, seed bead tile in this row. Oh, my 4-year-old grandson knows all of the songs by heart and sings and dances when we watched it together. That's so cute. Yeah, it seems to be really, like, the music is really catchy to kids too. And I think kids like it a lot because those colors are so vibrant and eye-catching too in the movie. The movie is just so colorful and beautiful. I think that's why kids like it too. Just the colors and the music are so pretty. The music is really good in that movie. I guess that's no surprise since Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote all the music. He's pretty talented. All right, we're moving along. So we're coming up through that next tile over, getting ready to add another seed bead and then tile. Yeah, this is a pretty easy bead weaving project. You can totally do this if you're just tuning in. I'm just showing you how to make this really beautiful jewel beetle bracelet that you can find in our design studio with full instructions as well. I've got a link to it in the video description. So before we add our picot edge, we're gonna go back down through that last tile, seed bead tile segment, and then loop back up through the current tile, seed bead tile segment. Now we're gonna add our picot edge, our dagger. Yeah, Encanto is on Disney Plus. It's really good. And then another seed bead. And then go down through that bottom tile, remembering to just go through the tile. You don't need to go through the picot edge. All right, just 2 more, and then I'll show you how to add that little accent seed bead in between all of your decorative edges here. Again, this would be longer if you were doing it to make a bracelet, but I shortened mine up for time purposes. All right, so I've added my seed bead. I'm ready to add a purple tile bead. Another thing I didn't know about Encanto is the girl that voices the main character, Mirabel. It's actually the lady from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and that blew my mind. It's Detective Diaz from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That blew my mind because her voice in Brooklyn Nine-Nine is so low and deep, but I guess that's not her real, like, speaking voice. Her voice is a much higher pitch in real life. So I didn't even know that she was Mirabel in Encanto. I thought that was really interesting. Good acting, I guess. And then we've got a seed bead, dagger and seed bead. Go back down through the tile. We got to add another seed bead. And then we'll go down through this green tile. And I've been kind of holding my sample the same direction. If it's easier for you, feel free to turn and flip your work as you go. I've just been kind of holding it steady for the camera, but sometimes, especially when you've got like a big length behind you, it might be easier to turn and flip your work. All right, we're adding our last one. So we're gonna add a seed bead and then a tile in the green color. Dagger, seed bead. Yay, I'm so glad you love this design. It's a really pretty one. All right, so we have got all of our beads added. And then this is where you would knot your thread. I kind of skipped a step here. So you would knot your thread once you've added this seed bead. You would knot your thread here, and you could even knot it where I'm at here just to secure it. So I'm just gonna knot it here because it will be hidden by this little seed bead here. And I'm gonna take my bead stopper off. I don't think I need it anymore. All my beads are woven and secure. So I'm just knotting my thread to kind of secure what I did here. Cinch everything up, okay. And then from here, what we want to do is, I'm going to go back down through this tile bead. I'm going back down through this tile bead, and then go up through this this second stringing hole, and then you're actually going to go up through that first seed bead in your picot edge there. So now we're going to add that little accent seed bead here. So now you're going to add that seed bead in your second color. I've got this fun little purpley blue color here. If I could pick one up. It's my eternal struggle. And then what you're going to do is go down through this seed bead here on the next picot edge over. And it just makes a cute little accent seed bead. And then what you're going to do is go through this stringing hole here and all of these seed beads. And this is how you're going to add, oops, I got a little tangled here. My tail got tangled. This is how you're going to add the accent seed bead on the other side. So you're going to have to do a little backtracking here at first. Go through this one, and then you're going to come back up through this guy, and then go back up through all of those seed beads. And then once you're coming back up through there, you're just gonna go, since you've already added this bead here, you're gonna go back through this seed bead, back down through these beads, and then you're gonna come out of this seed bead here. So we're ready for the next step. Then what you do is go through all of these beads here, and this is going to reinforce your picot edges. And then you're going to loop back through here, go through this seed bead. So not only are you adding an accent bead here, but you're really looping through the beads again and really enforcing that design that you've created. Go. So now you're up here ready to add the next seed bead. So pick up that seed bead in that accent color and then go down through the next seed bead over in the picot edge. And then just keep doing that. So you're going to go down through here. And you're always going to be backtracking as you did before on that second side. So you can see I've got to come back through here and add that bead to the side that I've already added. So I've got my accent color, going back to add the accent bead there, coming up through all these beads again. So if you thought you were doing a great job on reinforcing the first go around, this is really going to give you a nice secure hold on all of your beads. So we're back up on this side. We're going to go back down through all of those beads. So not only is this pass through just adding a little more of a decorative touch, it's also functional. It's also reinforcing everything we've already done. Go back through these beads here. Up through these. Now we're ready to add the next bead. And so you just keep going along like that to add your little extra bead. I really like the colors of these beads. They complement the beads that I've got going here really nicely. I think even like a metallic gold bead there would be a nice little pop of contrast. That would be really fun too. So all kinds of different things you can do with that extra bead. Like I said too, if you wanted to use the same color seed bead that you used for the body of the bracelet, you could do that too. If you don't want to work with more than one color, that's definitely an option. But it's always kind of fun, especially if you're thinking design wise, or if you want just a little more pop of color. Always kind of fun to add more color in there. I won't say no to more color. So yeah, so you just keep going like that. And then to add your clasp, adding your clasp is super easy, especially for the type of clasp that we have for this bracelet. Like I said too, if you find that your bracelet is a little short, you can always add like an extender chain or jump rings to the end of your bracelet for a little more added length. So don't despair if your bracelet length is a little short. To add the clasp, it's super easy. You would probably add a new thread. This looping around takes quite a bit of thread here. So you're probably going to knot and secure your thread once you've added your accent beads, and then add in a new thread and make sure it's coming out of this last bead in your center row, and then just loop the thread around half of your clasp. Bring it back through the seed bead, loop around the clasp and the seed bead a few times, and then weave your thread into the body of the bracelet, knot it probably between some seed beads, weave your thread again and trim, and then you're just going to do that on the other side. So super easy. So this is a pretty quick bead weaving project. I got quite a bit done here in the 50 minutes that I've been live. I made my sample shorter just to get through all the steps faster, but it does go quick for a bead weaving project, and it's super fun to mix up the colors that you're using. We've got a great supplies list for these colors in the Design Studio project. Again, full instructions with step-by-step pictures. I was actually referring to the step-by-step pictures on my iPad as I was demoing here, just to make sure I got all the steps right. So the step-by-step pictures are really helpful. And now we have this video that you can refer to. This video will be up even after this live, so you can watch it again and again, pause, rewind. Yeah, it is kind of like the ladder stitch. So really fun, really pretty. I'm loving these Mardi Gras colors that I picked out here. So that's a really fun project in our Design Studio. Again, let me know in the comments what you want to see next for demos. I'm really liking doing demos on the live videos. Let me know if that's something you enjoy too, and what you would want to see next from our Design Studio, or just a general technique. Please let me know. I love hearing your suggestions and knowing what you guys want to see is really helpful. So leave a like, leave a comment of what you want to see next, and make sure to share this video to all your friends too, so they can learn a fun new beading technique as well.